Have you ever heard the saying you catch more flies with honey than vinegar? It's true. Good morning and welcome to episode number 64 of In the Car with Clint. And today I'm going to talk about honey and vinegar. Now, I have to make special mention of my stepmom, Sue. She used to give me this analogy all the time, and I think it was due to the fact that I had a velvet tongue and managed to kind of manipulate the world to how I wanted to by using honey over vinegar. But it's true. And I was having a chat with a friend of mine, Brad, on Facebook last night. Brad, massive fan of the show, long-time follower, first-time mentioner, I don't know. And we were talking about this concept that leadership in the last 3 decades or 4 decades has had to change. And I don't know what the case was, 3 or 4 decades ago, around how people communicated with their staff. But I have this feeling that the average or the majority of people ruled with fear or with an iron fist, and that's just how it worked, and that's all they knew. And I just think that there's probably heavily thankful, or probably strongly connected to the fact that the internet exists. Leaders need to lead with care and empathy and kindness, and be supportive, because the expectations changed. The generations that have come through, like my generation and the generation below me, are more sensitive to the way they're communicated with, and expect a better quality of communication, probably because of the amount of branding and work that governments have done around equal opportunities and support for people that are different, and support and obviously treating everyone the same, that you can't rule with an iron fist anymore. And it's the most beautiful thing for me, because it's my natural style, and the world, I regularly think about how the world's at a place now where it's just convenient that the way I was brought up runs in line with how leadership works today. Now, this is just my opinion, right? So you can run your business however you want, but this is what I find works. That if you rule with honey, it beats ruling with vinegar. And you're going to find that if you have if you treat all of your relationships as honey relationships, and I'm talking the relationships with suppliers, the relationships with customers, the relationships with your friends, your family, your staff, you're going to get more out of life. It's basic stuff, because when people follow you from honey rather than follow you from fear, or when they follow you from respect rather than fear, it's a genuine level of support, and the people are going to do things for you when you're not watching. And I find, for me, by treating people fairly and being kind to people and understanding their personal needs and wants in business, in their personal lives, and then connecting it back to the business, that the staff are more likely to follow me through a door when they don't know what's on the other side, because they trust me. Whereas when you rule with fear, they will do the minimums that they are required, but once you start walking through doors where they don't know what's on the other side, they're not following you. And so I just wanted to highlight that. I don't know if this is something that you can change. If your personality is a vinegar personality and you just go, well, do as I say, not as I do, I think that would take some very, very strong work for you to acknowledge that you might be a vinegar leader rather than a honey leader, and that you might need to make changes around that. But if you're having trouble getting people to follow the plan, if you're having trouble retaining staff, if you're having trouble getting suppliers to support you with, say, getting quotes back on time, or reducing pricing when required to help meet a market demand that you have, or bringing you back on time, you might just be the vinegar. So I don't know how you would find that out. without being very open to change and asking people if you're the vinegar. And if you do that, then you're a very mature human being, and in some cases better than me, because I haven't always been good at asking for that kind of feedback. As I've matured, I've got more comfortable with it. But if you genuinely want to become a better leader and run a better business, and be successful and happy, I suggest that you look for that feedback and then find ways to make changes if the general consensus points towards you being a vinegar leader. Leading with fear is not a nice place to be, and when people have alternative options, they will go to a leader that leads with respect, and the internet has made the availability of those good leaders much more easy to find, and it's less likely that they're going to stay with you for 10 or 12 years out of fear like they may have in the 70s or 80s or even the 90s. So that is it. Thanks for tuning in to In the Car with Clint 64. I'm on the way to Kent Town. I'm a bit late today. We've got a household of sick human beings. Massive shout out to my wife Celeste, who, if there was a war on, I would want her at the front and I would follow her through the doors. She is not feeling the best, and she is having to deal with the children still, and I am out here playing. I offered to stay home and she said, no, you need to go. So I love you, Celeste. You're killing it. I know it feels like, sometimes it feels like you might not, but you are. And I'll see you tonight. I'll see the rest of you tomorrow. No, I won't. It's Friday. Oh, man. See you guys Monday. Have a good weekend. Happy Friday. If you're enjoying the content, hit the like button, follow, subscribe, all that shit. Share it with someone. Ciao.